This is IBM. You're familiar with IBM, yeah? You're in computer sciences.
Yeah.
Well, IBM have released a new chip. I think this was developed at MIT, I think.
Yeah.
They've released a new computer chip which processes data in the same way that the human brain does. And it's called the synapse or synapse.
It does, or it can do.
It does, that's how it works. The infrastructure of the chip has these things called, quote, neurons, which aren't real neurons, they're like little transistors. But they work in the same... It's been like inspired by the human brain. And it can do things like you can show this chip a video and it'll be able to say that's a car, that's a person, that's a bike, sort of thing. Like it has an intuitive understanding, sort of thing. That's my understanding of it anyway.
Okay.
It's also a lot faster and a lot more power efficient than normal computers. So there you go. What do you think of that, bitch?
Well, is this something that they have one of and have gone, look at this, we can do this now?
Yeah.
Or is it something they've gone, look, we can do this and we want to do it everywhere? Well, because there's a difference between saying we can spend £100 million and do this one chip, so you all go, yay, but we don't see this chip for another, 10 years.
Yeah.
Because people like to get excited about what the future holds and where are we going to stop? What's it going to be?
Futurology.
Yeah. But you need to be grounded at some point. And is this something that is a major advancement with nothing, just a major advancement? So
no application.
Go, wow, that is a major advancement.
Yeah.
But then what? Like, because to me it sounds fascinating. The idea that you can create a chip that emulates the speed and function of the brain.
Yeah.
Sort of the most complex thing known to man, really, the brain.
Yeah, it is, yeah. Most complex thing in the universe, people say.
That simple sentence that we can now create a microchip, like a tiny computer, like even 50 years ago, computers were huge, massive, sizes of rooms.
Yeah.
And in 50 years, we've been able to not only transform, computers down to nothing, like phones, full working computers, but we now have a chip that works like the brain.
Well, it's the way that it works is inspired by the brain, but it's not necessarily. It's inspired by a certain. It says here the wrinkled outer layer of the brain. So
what? Like it simulates.
It just simulates neurons and synapses, basically.
With what end? Like recognition, like calculations.
The way that I see it is that it processes much faster than a normal computer, and it also has certain applications that normal computers wouldn't be able to do, like it can understand things intuitively and make connections and recognise things, basically. So you could, if you went with a crazy futurology thing, let's say we imagine a future where this chip has been widely adopted and stuff like that. What if they use this chip in like robotics? What if they have robots with these brains, which are very similar to mammalian brains or human brains, and they can recognise objects? Well, can they recognise themselves?
Yeah, that's interesting. Where does it? What's the end?
There are all sorts of interesting philosophical questions that begin to arise.
As I tried to, tweet along, etc., I found this article about it, and it said the company has connected multiple chips, blah, 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 and sees applications of the technology ranging from, supercomputers to floating jellyfish-shaped devices that could sense tsunamis or other aquatic conditions.
That's interesting.
So it could be placed somewhere and it could sense the world to a certain extent and be that step ahead. Because weather is an interesting one. Yeah. In that we can, to an extent, predict it quite well. Yeah. But can we predict it to this extent? Probably not. Can we pick? This is almost animalesque. Like they say, before a storm, the dogs go crazy. It's in all the apocalypse films. That scene of
the birds flock away. Or
what's Buster doing? Yeah. The birds are flocking away.
Yeah.
And if they can sense that, and this chip can basically replicate that, then that would be incredible.